Morning, folks. Excuse me, just got in my bed. Was going through the news. And as you know, I don't watch TV. I tend not to listen to radio very much either. And I came across this. I'm going to put it up. Insane Kay Adams reads text comparing SNP Tory free slogan to Holocaust. Now, I'm a subscriber to the National, so I can put this up. I'll take it down for a wee minute. I'm going to put something else from this article up and play it shortly. But I want to tell you what this is about. And I want to tell you what it's about honestly. This is about treating the Scottish electorate as if they're fucking stupid. What the BBC here are doing are trying to convince a section of society that the SNP want to ban the Conservative Party from running in Scotland. That is not true. What First Minister Humza Yousaf has done is read the ruins, had a look at the polls, realised that the Conservatives are going to get wiped out in Scotland. That's got nothing to do with the SNP or Mr Yousaf. That is the electorate. The electorate will opt not to vote Conservative this time around. The way they opted not to vote Labour at the last election. Hence, Labour only have one MP in Scotland at this point in time. What the BBC are trying to do is make it look as if the SNP wish to ban the Conservatives from standing in the election here in Scotland. That's not what's happening. But that's the claim being made here. Now, I'm going to scroll down and please a wee snippet for that programme from the mainstream media monitor here in Scotland. See, we'll get that up right. Okay, and what this is telling you is Kay Adams has just read out a message that equates Humza Yousaf's Tory free slogan with Hitler's final solution that saw millions of Jews murdered. Not for the first time, Adams' hatred of the SNP has caused her to cross the line. She seriously needs to go. You need to hear this, folks. This is absolutely insane.
Humza Yousaf wants Scotland to be Tory-free as he sees the Conservatives as a stumbling block to independence. If he gets his way, what next? A Labour Party free zone, etc., etc. Slowly getting rid of all political opposition. This is the rhetoric of the 1930s, says John. What about the 700,000 Scots who vote Conservative? Are their political viewpoints to be marginalised from Scottish society and ultimately banned from expressing their opinion? Is this Humza's final solution for dealing with the Tory problem? Well,
now, folks, there's a few things that are flawed in that. 700,000 Scots voted Tory at the last election. 700,000 Scots don't intend to vote Tory this time round. They've switched allegiance to the Labour Party. Polling shows the Labour Party are going to pick up the 11 to 13 seats that the Conservatives have here in Scotland at the moment. But this nonsense is dangerous dog whistling to the extreme far right, claiming that the SNP want to delegitimise and ban the Conservative Party in Scotland. That's not what's happening here, folks. What's happening here is you're being treated like a fucking idiot. You're being treated like you don't know how an election works. You put up the candidates, you place a manifesto before the people, and you get voted on. The way it works down that road, the one where the most votes goes through to Parliament in a first past the post situation. Nobody's suggested for a second that the Conservatives can't stand candidates. So those 700,000 people, who aren't the 700,000 people anymore, that was the last election, there will be a Tory candidate for them to vote for. But saying again, that's up to Conservative HQ if they want to stand candidates. Nothing to do with the SNP. And as to whether they get elected or not, that's down to you, the people. That's how an election works. This notion that the BBC and this fucking halfwit with his final solution nonsense is pushing is rubbish. Yep, I did say yesterday that getting rid of the Tories, we get rid of one cheek of the unionist arse out of Scotland. You could hear the fear in the guy's, and her reading that out in the guy's voice. And he is correct. Once the one cheek's gone, we'll not be long and get rid of the other one when we see what a mess Starmer's going to make. But whether the Tories survive in Scotland or not is down to the electorate. It's no down to the SNP. And no one, absolutely no one in the SNP is talking about outlawing the Tory party from Scotland. My point of view, if they're not a registered party in Scotland, they shouldn't be allowed to run the Scottish elections. But that's because I'm a diplomat and I'm not a thick Brit in that. But anybody who thinks for a second here that the SNP, a political party, is trying to ban another political party from running in these islands, you're wrong. But if you want to talk about Conservatives trying to ban the SNP from running in these islands, that could be the logical next step of the new definition of extremism. Because the SNP, they want to break up the institutions of state. And they do provide a conducive environment for us all to debate whether we wish to stay in this union or depart this union in the future. But that sort of democracy is not allowed under this new definition of extremism. So the only people who are suggesting banning parties and organisations are actually Conservatives. Now here we have the BBC portraying it like the SNP want to ban a political party. You've never heard so much nonsense in your life, and you, the electorate, are being treated like fucking idiots, as if you don't know how the system works. Let's have a look at the last election in 2019 here. People were so angry with the Labour Party. They ended with one MP and they could have been wiped out for a couple of thousand votes. That's what's called democracy. And if that's the fate of the Tory party here in Scotland, it won't have been much to do with the SNP. The electorate's already made its mind up according to the polling. All the SNP are doing is campaigning, trying to take advantage of the fact that the public intend to wipe the Tories out. Don't be treated like an idiot. Get angry on this one, folks. Ensure your friends and your neighbours know that the BBC are inciting trouble here in Scotland. So far, we'll be the first minister who's a humanitarian called out as a terrorist by these people, the Tories, parroted by the press because he supports a ceasefire in Gaza, like the rest of us normal human beings. And now he's been compared to Nazi Germany because the population of Scotland intends to eradicate the Tories as a political party in Scotland at the next general election. And as Mr. Hewson's saying, is trying to make sure his SNP party gets a share of that vote that the Tory have naturally shed. Because of Brexit, the fuck up down that road, and the fact that living standards are going backwards at a rapid rate in Ox. Wealth inequalities through the bloody roof. And grandma's sitting freezing in her hovel with fuck all to eat. That's why the people are voting to get rid of the Tories. nothing to do with the SNP. The SNP are just campaigning and trying to get a share of the vote that the Tories have already shed through their own actions. This stuff from the state broadcaster is outrageous. And Kay, Conservative Kay as she's called, needs to be sacked. Share this one around, folks. Share it around, because the idiots out here that might buy this bollocks might learn something about how democracy works. That's your Davy Shop for a day. Have a nice day.